welcome to CrochetObjet Knitting. If you're new here, my name is Mo. I'm coming to you from Israel, from our apartment, rooftop apartment in Ramat Gan, which is a city in the center of Israel. I changed my location today. I changed the filming location today because I want to be very close to my computer. I'm sitting at my desk, and yeah, actually I don't really have the time to really get prepared to the video, to write down notes and to prepare my videos in advance if I want to be realistic and if I want to upload videos to YouTube and to share things here with you. I really have to just sit and make it, because otherwise there's no way I will squeeze in my weekly schedule also preparations and special preparations. So I'm sitting next to my computer at my desk, and I have here all the information I want to give you today. I also have my coffee with me, so let's take a sip. And it's Wednesday morning today, so I'm after 2 days of teaching. Normally I have Mondays and Tuesdays for teaching. I have 3 groups, and these are the most busy days for me in the week. I have 3 groups, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, and Tuesday knit night. Actually, it's taking place here behind me. Everybody is knitting or crocheting their own projects. It's mainly few projects for a knitter, and I'm running around the table, going from one to another and teaching and showing, explaining, fixing, giving how do you say it, hugs or a little positive words about the work. And yeah, it's very, very fun. We have a lot of, chatting, talking, joking. Wednesday morning is usually more calm and easy going for me. I mainly start the day, as every day, tidying up our house, because I cannot do it other way. I can only function when everything in my surrounding is really tidied up. Today I'm here to share everything related to my kiss blanket. And one more word, in all my videos where I have a little lifestyle footage from our beach walk or from the kitchen, or a general footage from my studio, I will share it. I will try to share some at the beginning and at the end of the video, so you can see a little bit more than just the studio chat with me. So today I'm gonna be sharing everything related to the kiss blanket, which kiss is a keep it simple blanket. This is the very simple garter stitch blanket, which I made out of my granny kit cotton. I will explain everything you need to know, and you don't have to just make it from my granny kit cotton. First, let me tell you a few words about how it was all started. This swatch was made, this is the first trial on May 2019. And the reason I made it, first of all, I'm a huge stripe lover, and with the cotton, the stripes are so really clear and defined, and I'm really in love with the stripes made out of the cotton, and I was looking for a stripes blanket that will be very easy to knit, that will tell a story about color and stripes and will not take so much brain space. So this watch was the original, was the first watch I made back in 2019, and since then it was, as you can see on my blog, I'm sharing a picture from from May 19. It was sitting on the living room table, and then moved to the studio, and then into a project bag, and it was sitting for a long time. And I think it was a little bit before the COVID came to our life that one of my students came to me and she said, you know, I'm looking for a very easy, colorful project to make a small baby newborn blanket, which I want to give for friends. And do you have any suggestions? It was one of my Mondays girls, one of my sweet students. And I said, you know what? I think I have an idea. And I went back to my project bags and I took this swatch out of my project bag and I told her, this is something I have started to design and started to develop, but it's really a raw idea in my mind. But what do you say? Let's start, and if you like this idea, let's give it a go and let's think it as we go. And it was 1 second and she said, yes, it's exactly what I want to be busy with. It's a simple garter stitch. We have looked through the colors she has, and we just made a general picture of the color layout, and she started to knit. I'm not sure how many stitches she casted on, but it was a small blanket, really for a newborn, and she started to knit. When she was on her, really in the middle of her process, I meet her every week and I see her progress, and my heart couldn't stand it, and I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to start it up as well. Anyway, I casted on mine. I made a few calculations, and the thing is that for me, whenever I start a blanket, ever since I have my CrochetObjet knitting and my Etsy shop, I have to calculate the yarn. I have to be really minded of the final yarn package. How many balls of cotton will be in my package, and what will be the weight. I made my calculations and I cast on 215 stitches and I started to work. And now we can come into the part when I tell you how do you make the blanket and how all the colors are working. So actually it's a garter stitch, a stripes blanket, very simple to make. And you work in a garter stitch back and forth, and you work stripes of 2 rows from each colors, and you create color blocks of small stripes. The small stripes are made of 2 rows. 2 rows of A, 2 rows of B, 2 rows of A, 2 rows of B. But they work in a block of 8 times of each of the rows of the couple. 8 times, sorry, I will wake up my computer. Each of the couples make 8 times of 2 rows and 2 rows. So let me show it to you. Like you start here, you start with a teal blue, which is, don't look at the I-cord because this is the last step that we do while framing. The blanket starts here in the teal color. The teal, you cast on with the teal and then you go back of just knit, knit, knit. That's all you do in this blanket, and except of the framing, of course. So 2 cast on, and then 1 more row of the teal, and then 2 more rows of the pale blue. This is the first couple. The first couple work 8 times. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 times. And then you say bye-bye to the pale blue, and then you continue work. You make couples with the teal and with turquoise. After 8 stripes of the teal and turquoise, which is the second block, you say bye-bye to the teal. If you buy my package, which in a minute I will explain it, you will, every 50-gram cotton ball will make exactly what you need for the 16 colors in total, because each color works 16 stripes, 8 times with a friend A and 8 times with friend B, so 16 times in total. After you finish the second block, the third block, you say bye-bye to the teal and welcome to the seafoam, and the turquoise color stay to work with color seafoam, and you only work back and forth in a garter stitch, which you already know. It's knit all the rows, and that's how it looks from the right side, how it looks from the back side, wrong side, I don't know. I don't like to call this a wrong side because I think it's more beautiful than the clear side of the stripes. I'm really in love with this side, and a lot of the girls from my knitting group made this blanket mixing out the two sides, and I will tell you how. So when you reach the top, you see this pink is the berry. It works 1 time with the amber, and on the last block with the cameo. So the cameo you will use only half of a cotton ball. It makes only 8 stripes and not 16 stripes like all the colors. And it's the same case as with the pale blue. The pale blue and the cameo work only 8 stripes, only 1 color block, and not 2 color blocks as with all the other stripes. So back to sitting in front of you. Yeah, so this is about the instructions, and technically when you work back and forth, the yarn will always wait for you in the same side. So when you change colors, the yarn will always wait for you in the same side. So in my pattern, I include many links for notes and for technical tutorials. In one of the tutorials, I explain how to switch between the colors. So you don't have to cut the yarn every 2 rows. You keep it and you carry it. Sorry, this is the word in English. You carry the yarn. So I explain how to carry the yarn. Because you work 2 rows from each color, this what creates the clear side and the merging stripe side. And if you want to blend between them, you have to, in some points, or you have to decide where you want to do it, you have to only work 1 row or 3 rows, so the yarn tail will wait in the other side of the blankets. And in this way you can mix the merging side with the clear side. And yeah, a few of my students made it here, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed the result they achieved. I shared a few very beautiful kiss blanket pictures here during the weeks we worked on it, and I'm still having students that are working on their kiss blankets. And I think I do also have a kiss blanket highlight in my Instagram account, so you are welcome to go and follow there. About the pattern, so in my Etsy shop I have the yarn pack and the pattern separately. If you want to purchase the pattern and to make the blanket, to knit the blanket from any other yarn, which can be gorgeous, and you can use any stash yarn you have, or can purchase any yarn from your local shop, wherever you want. You don't have to buy the pack, and you have the pattern available separately, and the yarn pack is available separately. Right after uploading this video, I will be updating my shop with a few kiss yarn pack. So do you want to see the yarn pack before I'm going through the pattern? Let's give it a moment, and then I have to talk about the framing. You see, I didn't make notes, I told you. So the yarn pack includes 21 cotton balls. And why 7, 7, and 7? Why? And this is what you get. You get it together with color card of my Granny Kit cotton yarn, which unfortunately many of the colors are out of stock at the moment. You can see it in my Etsy shop. Not everything is available at the moment, as always. And you get a little thank you card from me. If you need something extra, just ask it. Just ask in the notes. I'm always happy to send it to you. Not in cases that of 35 cotton balls, because it's really every gram will affect the price, and I don't want to be more than 2 kilos. So each ball is a 50-gram ball, and it's 125 meters in each ball. In the yarn pack, you will get on every ball, on each ball, we are writing numbers, so you know that you start with color number 1 and color number 2. Okay, so this will make it clear for you. The blanket has 19 color blocks. So why do you have 21 cotton balls? Each ball will make 2 color blocks, will make 16 tiny stripes. Yeah, 8 and 8. So why do you have 21 cotton balls? Because for the framing you will need 1 more ball from the citron and 1 more ball from the shell gray. So this is the yarn pack. Let's go through the pattern, and then we will finish or we will combine the framing talk. How long is my video going? Okay. You have to purchase the pattern separately. Sorry, this air condition. It's already warm in Israel. Not the heavy summer that is ahead of us, right around the corner. But yeah, it's already hot, and I'm partly using the air condition, unfortunately. I don't like it, but I have to. So I have to turn it to manage it so it works in part-time. So you have to purchase the pattern separately. I will, of course, link it down below in the description box for you. And let's go through the pattern. This is the first page where I show the blanket. Always very hard to decide which picture from the million pictures I'm taking for each finished blanket, which to put in the front page. So this is in the front page. And then you have, as usual, you have the what do you need, a few words about this stripe blanket. Well, it is very, very meditating, very easy to make, and what can I say? It was the big star of the COVID-19 days, which are not over, but let's hope it's the end of this era. But it was the star of COVID-19 because it was exactly what we were all looking for. It's a very easy breezy project. You just have to keep the yarn and the needles and to knit. And let me tell you what needles will you need. So in this in the second page you will have the little story and then the blanket size. What is the blanket size? With my Kiss yarn pack, you will create a blanket size. Again, my blankets are made out of cotton. Cotton is very heavy. They are not huge. They are like a piece of color in your space, a piece of happy in your space, and they are kind of throws. So the size of this blanket using the yarn pack I just showed you, 94 centimeters by 125. So it's not huge, and if you want I can, maybe I will get up so you can see the actual size. Let's take the chair. Sorry, I'm in my studio and I'm not wearing shoes. Sorry if you see it. I'm not having shoes on. So this is the size of my Kiss blanket. You see, not huge, but really not huge, but not small. And it's kind of like a throw. So 94 by 125 centimeters. And then the yarn. Okay, the Granny Kit cotton yarn is a 4-ply sport weight cotton yarn, and you will get you will need 19 different colors and 2 balls of 2 colors for the framing. Needles. We knitted this blanket here. I personally knitted it on a 3.25 millimeters needle with 100 or 120 centimeter long circular needle, very, very long. But I have also students that we have changed the needle size to according to the gauge they achieved, and I really recommend that you knit a small swatch because you don't want it to be too loose or too tight. A few of my students had to go a quarter size or half size down or up, so you will have to keep your gauge right, which is 25 stitches and 50 rows per 10 centimeters, 10 by 10. And I measured this gauge after blocking. On the next page you will have a glossary. This blanket is mainly knitting, and in the very, very last part of the blanket you have a little bit of crochet. So it's a mixture of knitting and crochet, but the very last part of the blanket is crochet, and you can easily give up the crochet if you don't feel comfortable with crochet, and I will explain it when I go through the framing. On the second part of the page you have all kind of techniques, and here I link to all the color change video, applied I-cord video, and then you have a link to how to slip stitch into the I-cord legs. You have a video of 2 invisible join and to Kitchener stitch. You go into the instructions and you get a list of which row work with which color. and you go through this list. Easy, very, very easy, and you knit, knit, knit till you reach the border time. In most of my blankets, I really, really enjoy the framing, the edging work. In this case, I do an applied I-cord around my blanket. And you have, as I said before, a video shows how to make it. Usually you have to use 2 DPNs. You have to face the wrong side of the blanket and you apply I-cord edge. You will also have a written explanation from me how to make it step by step. When you finish knitting your I-cord edge, if you want, you can add a crochet border, which is made out of 2 more rows of slip stitch only, and you have to slip stitch into the legs of your I-cord edge. This is how it looks in the pattern. You see the pictures are telling you exactly where to start and how to do it. And also, let me show it to you on the actual blanket. So it will look from the right side, from the side where you see the colors, the stripes clear, it will look like this. But from the other side, it will look like this. So it's like a tiny little addition on top of the I-cord edge. And if you know me, you know I'm the person of the tiny little details. Yeah, details. If there is a little space for details, I'm here for it. This is really my handwriting. Yeah, so you can add it if you like, and you can skip it if you don't like to crochet the slip stitch on top of your I-cord edge. The last thing I want to mention is that I added to my Etsy shop into the item description and also to my blog. I will link everything down below for you. I added a photo with the colors and the numbers next to the colors. It looks like this. And this is for if you want to make this blanket in the same color story, but you don't want to use my yarn pack. I'm very happy to share the colors and very happy to help you make the same blanket. So feel free to use this picture. It's available in my blog, it's available in my Etsy shop, and it's available inside the pattern if you wish to make the same color story without using the exact same yarn and without purchasing my yarn pack. This was the pattern, and this is a little swatch I made to help me deciding on the finishing part, which is another beautiful colorway. So feel free to play, feel free to use any colors you have in stash, and don't get stuck with the idea that you have to make exactly 19 color blocks. And one thing I think I would think to keep is maybe to check the option that one yarn works with 2 different couples, with 2 different friends. It gives it more like a smooth feeling and a smooth move from one color to another, from one couple to another couple of colors. And yeah, it's very, very meditating and really keep you very happy while knitting it. Everything you do is just knit, 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 changing colors, which is really a lot of joy. And then you have the edging, and Let me tell you something. Yesterday I told it, or on Monday I told it to one of my Monday girls. I really think there are a lot of options of just adding a little single crochet stitch around the blanket. There are many other simple ways to finish this blanket. Of course, I'm in love with my R-code edge and I'm in love with my design, and I will appreciate if you keep the I-cord as in the original design, but I will really appreciate any other of your any other choice you make. This is it, I think, for today. I will now, right after finishing this video, I will update my shop with a few more yarn packs. I hope you will find it enjoyable, find it suitable for you. You can of course make it in different sizes, and one thing I would like to add is that from all the cotton blankets I have designed here during the years, we find this the most drapey and soft appearance of the cotton, and it's really soft, and the handle is so pretty and so huggable. So yeah, this is it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me in my Kiss blanket video, and I will see you on my next one.